Energy is everywhere. The most visible to people their dependence of electric energy. It's hard to admire life without electricity today. Can you imagine your life without electricity for one day? I think no. We use electricity every minute, starting with waking up and finishing with sleeping. All the technical equipment such as electric lamps, alarm clock, refrigerator, TV, cell phone, laptop, work due to electricity. Even tourists in nature use GPS to determine their location. We will return in the 18th century without electricity. So, today people need energy to live. It forced people to seek new ways to generate electric energy. We want to show you some of them.
Electricity generation is a process of generating electric power from other sources of primary energy. Now let's talk about different ways of energy producing. These are the steps by which electricity is generated from fossil fuels. First of all, heat is realized from the fuel and boils the water to make steam. Then the steam turns the turbine, and the turbine turns the generator and electricity is produced. And finally, the electricity goes to the transformers to produce the current voltage. In order to turn the nuclear fission into electrical energy, nuclear power plants operators have to control the energy given off by the enriched uranium and allow it to heat water into steam. The pellets of uranium are arranged into long rods, and the rods are collected together into bundles. The bundles are submerged in water inside a pressure vessel. The water acts as a coolant. Left to its own devices, the uranium would eventually overheat and melt. Solar panels are made by photovoltaic cells which collect solar energy. Sunlight contains energy, and when it hits on panels, it converts energy into heat. When rays of sun hit silicon cells, negatively charged neutrons realizes from the trapped magnetic field. Small wires on the silicon catch these neutrons and connect into circuit to form electric current. Solar panel removes protons and moves the produced DC electric current to watch conversion system attached within the panel. The process behind wind energy is pretty simple. It starts of course with the wind, which is actually a form of solar energy. Wind is caused by the sun's heating of the atmosphere, the irregularities of the Earth's surface and its rotation. The wind turbine captures that energy through propeller-like blades attached to a rotor, usually atop towers to access faster, less turbulent wind. The water from the reservoir is controlled to flow through the dam, so as to turn the turbine generator units installed behind the dam to generate electricity. Hydroelectric generation does not consume any fuel or produce air pollution or greenhouse gas emission. Each method of generating electricity has advantages and disadvantages, as well as significantly different effects on the environment. The table below helps illustrate the difference between the various energy sources used to generate electricity. We can clearly see that coal, natural gas, nuclear, and water is available for 24 hours, 7 days per week. The graph shows the statistic about life cycle cost. Hydro has the lowest price. Then there are nuclear, coal, wind, natural gas, and solar is the most expensive. And how do you think what would it take to generate electricity for an average city? The chart shows how the amount of 100 megavolt electric could be produced by different sources.
Energy storage is accomplished by devices or physical media that store energy to perform useful processes at a later time. The device that stores energy is sometimes called an accumulator. Many forms of energy produce useful work, heating or cooling to meet societal needs. These energy forms include chemical energy, gravitational potential energy, electrical potential, electricity, temperature differences, latent heat, and kinetic energy. Energy storage involves converting energy from forms that are difficult to store more conveniently or economically storable forms. Some technologies provide only short-term energy storage, and others can be very long-term, such as power to gas using hydrogen or methane, and the storage of heat or cold between opposing seasons in deep aquifers or bedrock. A wind-up clock stores potential energy, a rechargeable battery stores readily convertible chemical energy to operate a mobile phone, and a hydroelectric dam stores energy in a reservoir as gravitational potential energy. Ice storage tanks store ice, thermal energy in form of latent heat, and night to meet peak demands for cooling. Fossil fuels such as coal and gasoline store ancient energy derived from sunlight by organisms that later died, became buried, and over time were then converted into these fuels. Even food is a form of energy stored in chemical form. Energy storage as a natural process is as old as the universe itself. The energy present the initial formation of the universe has been stored in stars such as the Sun, and it is now being used by humans directly or indirectly. As a purposeful activity, energy storage has existed since prehistory. An example of deliberate mechanical energy storage is the use of locks and boulders as defensive measure in ancient forts. The local boulders were collected at the top of a hill or wall, and the energy thus stored used to attack invaders who came within range. A more recent application is the control of waterways to drive water mills for processing grain or powering machinery. Complex systems of reservoirs and dams were constructed to store and release water when required. Storing energy allows humans to balance the supply and demand of energy. Energy storage system is commercial use today can be broadly categorized as mechanical, electrical, chemical, biological, and so on.
We tell you about ways of generating energy, all of it fossil fuel, nuclear, solar, wind and hydroelectric energy, geothermal and solar thermal energy are doing their mission. They produce electricity for people, but unfortunately it pollutes environment, which gave us a life and resources to make it more comfortable for people. In my opinion, people should think not only about new ways to generate more and more energy, but also should think about nature. Earth is our big green home, and it cares about us, but people only hurt environment for a long time. Now we need to cure our planet. It is time to say thank you, Earth.